Muted? Nope, I'm good. Okay, so hello everyone. This is Coach Megan from the Heartland Institute. We are so glad that you can join us, excuse me, for this evening. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown, and we're here waving. There is Coach Diane. She will be joining us on this webinar this evening as well. We are thrilled to have her with us. The focus of tonight's the focus of tonight's webinar is really a celebration. It's either the end of the academic year for folks, or we are coming up on the academic year, or the end of the academic year. So we are celebrating that. And so what we're going to do is provide a brief overview for those of you who may be interested. Excuse me, we ran home from karate and I had to shovel in dinner so I didn't pass out. So now I'm kind of getting myself back together now. And so we are going to show a short video with just an overview of our program for those of you who are new to our program. Maybe it's a refresher of the program. And then we're going to share some of the successes that the HIFA College Coaching Program has experienced. And really by the coaching program, I'm really talking about our students who have experienced various forms of successes over the last year. And then we'll leave a little bit of time at the end for questions and answers. And so we'll be able to do that. Like Coach Diane said, if you have questions or comments throughout this evening's program, you can go ahead and put it in the chat line and we will do our very best to get to that during the program, or you can wait until the end. So whichever is easiest for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my PowerPoint, and I'm also going to attempt to show a video, but you also need to be able to hear it. So Coach Diane, when we get to the video part, which will be in just a second, if you can't see or hear it, let me know if you want to either say something or put it in the chat, and then I will try to figure out my settings, but I always seem to click on the wrong thing to make that work. So
okay, no problem.
Halfway through, people are like, I didn't hear that. I'm like, that sort of defeats the purpose. So, so without further ado, I'm going to share my initial screen here. I'm going to share computer sound. I think this will be the right way to go. So,
hey Megan, just
yes.
real quick before we get too far into it, I think at least on my end, I never see the chat menu unless I kind of put my mouse over the very bottom of the screen.
Okay.
So, folks, if you can't see the chat, then just go ahead and kind of hover your mouse at the bottom of the screen, and then you should see the chat option.
Perfect. Perfect. So, well, here we go. Like I said, we are really doing an end of academic year celebration. And this is brought to you by a consultant calling me, a college coaching program, and it's presented to you by your college coaches. So like I said, we're really going to give an overview of our coaching program via a video, celebrate some of the successes, not all of them, because we would be here for 2 or 3 weeks talking about all of the great things that our students have done over the last couple of years. And then again, we're going to save time for a question and answer. So here is the part where I am going to attempt to show you this video. We will see if this works. I have a feeling it's not going to, so hold on one second.
What is your plan for college?
No, hold on. I think I know how to do this. I just have to share a different screen. Aha, I think I figured it out. All right, let's try this.
Questions create some fear. Don't worry, you are not alone. Most people feel like this when faced with the questions that come up around creating a plan for college. At the Heartland Institute of Financial Education, we understand what it takes to create a solid plan and to partner with you on the steps to make your educational dream a reality. The cost of attending college has increased significantly over the last decade. In 2018, the average cost of a public in-state school was over $22,000. Additionally, the national average for the time it takes to graduate is 6.5 years. The cost of this 2.5 years of extra tuition, plus the lost wages a student experiences each year they remain in school, is over $180,000. So why does it take an average of 6.5 years to graduate? There are many factors that influence this, and many of them come back to planning. Planning for the right career, the right major, and the right school where students will not only meet their academic goals, but also thrive as a person. Our high school counselors work tirelessly on behalf of our students. Unfortunately, 478 students is the national average for a high school counselor caseload. Our goal at HIFA is not to replace what your high school counselor is doing, but to supplement it with individualized one-on-one coaching. Sounds like both parents and students need to have a plan for the next steps. Don't worry, the Heartland Institute of Financial Education College Coaching Program is here to help you create the plan that will work for you and for your student. There is never as much time as we think, and time is definitely ticking. If you're starting your freshman year of high school, you have 720 days until college. If you're starting your senior year, you only have 180 days. We want to ensure that students use this precious time efficiently so that they can maximize their options and experience. What a student does in high school determines what options they have when they graduate. By starting early, we can really be clear on their goals and coach them into the best position to reach those goals. Although each year has a different and targeted focus, the overall focus of the college coaching program is to support each individual student in making the best decisions for them and ensuring that they are making the best use of both their time and money. The Heartland College Coaching Program is focused on working with each individual student to co-create the right plan for them and to help them navigate the path to complete that plan. We begin our work with the students with the end in mind. Through the use of an empirically tested assessment, students are given career suggestions based on their interests, skills, and work values. These assessments are not meant to limit a student, rather give them an individualized and directed starting point to build their educational plan. Many of the services that we provide include the delivery of monthly recommendations based on age and year in school, assist with high school course planning and selection, research college and university options, unlimited essay reviews for both scholarship and college applications, guidance on gaining valuable hands-on experiences, developing a resume to best reflect those experiences, offer direction on financial funding options available to the student and family, including federal and state funding, individual school aid, and private scholarships, grants, and loans, and the final college or university selection. Our coaching team is truly what sets the Heartland Institute's program apart from others. Although each student is assigned an individual coach, they also benefit from the collective wisdom of our coaching team. Each member of our team have an average of over 20 years of experience, a fully vested interest in getting to know both the parent and the student in order to create the best educational plan for that student, and provide the invaluable one-on-one guidance and support that today's student is looking for. Here are just a few of the amazing results that the students enrolled in the college coaching program have experienced. We reviewed over 2,300 essays for both college applications as well as scholarship applications over the last year. 225 of our college coaching program students were accepted into the top 200 universities in the nation. We had over $16 million that were awarded to our college coaching program students in scholarships money, with an additional $184,000 plus that were awarded through the appeals process. Many of our students received full-ride scholarships to schools, including Duke University, UC Berkeley, University of Pennsylvania, and University of Rochester. And 97% of our college coaching program students that were enrolled in the program were accepted into their school of choice. Interested in finding out if you qualify for the college coaching program? Answer these few simple questions to find out. Are you committed to following the instructions and monthly roadmaps that's provided to you from your coach? Are you in the 8th grade, a high school student, a transfer student, or an adult or returning student on an educational journey? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then you are a qualified candidate for this program. It's important to know that you must attend an accredited institution to qualify for federal financial aid, although that does not preclude you from being a part of this program. There's also no minimum or maximum income required to qualify for the program. The enrollment fee for the program is $2,695 for the first year and $500 annual renewal fee for any year after that. The Heartland Institute of Financial Education is a national 501c3 nonprofit organization with the mission to promote financial literacy across America. We wholeheartedly believe that this mission begins with our college coaching program. It is our goal at Heartland to help young Americans obtain a college education and to reduce a family's out-of-pocket cost for that education. For more information about the Heartland College Coaching Program, please contact your local college planning consultant. Feel free to visit us at our website at www.hife-usa.org. Send us an email at hifecpp@hife-usa.org or give us a call at 303-597-0197. At the Heartland Institute of Financial Education, we believe that every student deserves a coach, and we can't wait to begin working with you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh boy. Probably don't need to see all of these things on there for me. Okay. Hopefully that worked for everyone. And so that is just, again, a brief video. Some of you are already enrolled in our program, and it would serve as a reminder or a refresher. And for some of you who are, hopefully that works. Hopefully you see all that. For those of you who are new to the program, who are thinking about the program, that does give you a brief overview of what we at the Heartland Institute of Financial Education and through our college coaching program, what we really provide for our students and our families. So you should see a screen that says celebration time in front of you. If somebody can give me a verbal, yes, they see this, then I will know that my computer is working with me.
We can see it.
Awesome, great, thank you so much. Sometimes, you go through a couple of slides and people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you probably can't see that, sorry. So yes, so now it is time for the celebration part of our program this evening, and really just recapping a lot of the successes that we have had. And like I said, we've had so many successes with our students. Yes, we're going to focus quite a bit on our students who are graduating or who are getting ready to start college this coming fall, but we're also going to share some other successes, some that have just come in today, some, from our younger students and from our, what we call underclass students. And so, anywhere from 8th grade up through 11th grade, in addition to our graduating seniors. So here it's kind of small, but it was the best way that I could just start picking off some of the schools that our students have been accepted to. So these are either our students who are graduating high school right now and going into college in the fall, or who have taken a gap year. I know we're working with some of those students who have taken a gap year and are then going to be starting college in the fall. I'm not going to read all of these to you, and I can tell you I have 10 pages of all of the different schools that we have students that have been accepted to. And so I just started pulling from them. You can see we have, with the American Music and Dramatic Arts Academy in New York, we have some specialty schools that are there. We have some large public, we have some private schools in all parts of the country. And it just goes on and on and on. And so we're really proud of the diverse schools that our students are applying to, that they are, some of our students, I have some students on my caseload that were accepted into 10 different schools. And I'm sure, Coach Diane and our other coaches have that as well. And so, we really work with students to make sure that they know the types of schools that they are applying to, that it fits their needs, both academically, financially, and really what a good environment would be for them. Work with them through that process, making sure that it has those schools have the major that they are interested in and want to go into, to make sure that they are following the correct career path. And so then these are just some of the schools that they have been accepted into. So wanted to share that with you as well. And so here's a couple of our results. I can see the spacing came out a little bit interesting, and this is through 5/22, so maybe just a week or so ago. And at that point in time, we had only 203 of our senior students reporting. So about 2/3 of our students reporting, maybe somewhere between a half and 2/3 of our students reporting. The number of essays that we have reviewed over this past academic year, for the 2018-2019 year, is over 2,700 essays that have been reviewed. That includes scholarship as well as application, college application. Number of different schools where students have been accepted, over 180 different schools. Now, a number of our students, obviously some of them are going to apply to the same schools, whether they know one another or not, and they're being accepted into those. There's a few at Georgia Tech. I know that there's a number at Purdue University and some of the others. I'd have to look at the list, but over 180 different separate schools where students have been accepted. And up to this point of 522, almost $15 million awarded in scholarships, in financial aid. And that's bringing in together your individual scholarships, the aid packages that are offered from the specific individual schools, and all of those pieces that go into financial aid. So almost $15 million awarded to 203 of our students. So do the math. That's a pretty good average there. This next bullet, that's the additional aid received due to reevaluation. That reevaluation is specific to working with the coach, creating a template that works for students, and their families. And I think I'm gonna finish up this piece, and I think Coach Diane has had some experience with this, so I'll let her talk a little bit about this as well. But really what this is contacting the individual schools, the colleges or universities, and saying, hey, basically I'm really interested, I'll use my alma mater of, I really want to go to Ball State University, but there's still a financial aid gap. Are there any more scholarships that I can receive, anything else I can apply for or maybe eligible for? And so with that, almost $400,000, so $375,000 additional dollars in aid have been awarded to our students because they chose to ask and go through that reevaluation process. Coach Diane, have you had any experience with that? I know we've seen some emails going back and forth over the last couple of months.
Yes, actually, we've had experiences where we've gotten like an additional $4,000 per year just by asking.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents asked me about, the household income, and, after expenses, none of us have a ton of money left over. Fortunately, they look at the pre-tax dollars, but a lot of times if, we can write a reevaluation letter, like one of my families, they had 3 teenagers in the household, and, so just very politely explaining the situation. It doesn't work every time, but I always say to definitely, send a reconsideration or reevaluation letter, and your coach can send you a draft and help you with that. So definitely don't hesitate to ask the coach.
Perfect. Absolutely. I always tell families that I'm working with when it comes to reevaluation or just asking in general, even kind of that initial, is that the answer will always be no if we don't ask the question. So let's figure out the best way that you all feel comfortable with in asking that.
Yeah, and Megan, another thing too is I've gone and searched on the college website itself, and sometimes there are other little scholarships that don't jump out at us or don't come up during the application process. So as well as the reevaluation letter, have your coach search the actual university's website. I have a saying, let's not leave any dollars on the table.
Yeah.
But your coach will definitely know, where else to look.
Perfect. And this last bullet point here that we want to talk about, and this is just a few of them, and I know we've had a couple come in over the last few days that when I already had this program all set up here, or this presentation, but we've had some additional ones come in, but full ride scholarships to Rice University, Vanguard, Johns Hopkins, University of Toronto, and I know we've had a couple at one at, I believe, Georgia Tech, and one at Georgia State. And there potentially are others as well. Again, this is just a few of some of the results that we have seen over the last, just over the last academic year, with only 203 of our graduating students or students who are matriculating into college reporting that. One of our coaches shared this. This was one of her students that that has really worked the program. He was highlighted locally through his Haifa consultant. And so, just some of the accomplishments of this specific student, Eric, and he's been in the program for about 3 years now. So I think that puts him in at starting in between his freshman and sophomore year. So yeah, I think I did my math right on that. You can see this one particular student alone got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 offers from different schools. He got financial aid awards from Georgia Tech, Emory, and Purdue. Those are all excellent engineering programs, which I believe this student is going into. Here are some of the awards and honors that this particular student has achieved and accomplished. And again, folks, we are sharing this more because we're just elated at what our students alongside their coaches are able to achieve and what they're able to do that really truly sets them up for what they want to do in the future. So for every coach that we are working with, they have a number of students who are experiencing something like this, right? That they have gotten accepted into multiple programs, multiple schools that fit their academic need. They're able to get those scholarship financial aid dollars that help them to achieve that in the best way. So on the back end, when they are graduating, they are not coming out up to their eyeballs in debt, maybe only up to their middle or up to their knees in debt, or maybe not at all. It reminds me of that Shel Silverstein poem, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. But really thinking about how can we help these students set them up for the future. And at this point in the year, we start seeing that work of the students and the coaches come to fruition. And so now it's Coaches Diane's part, her opportunity to brag about some of her particular students that she has been working with. I know that there's a couple that she is interested in highlighting. So time to brag, Coach Diane.
Okie dokie. Did you have Jonathan, the picture of Jonathan on one of the slides?
I don't think I have that picture on there, no.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I had emailed that.
I'll see if I can find it while you're talking.
Yeah, because there was a good picture of Jonathan. So let's see if Megan can find that, because I'm not really sure how to share that here if it's not on a slide. Anyway, so one of my students is a very exceptional young man, and while Megan's looking for the picture, he actually has a patent. He is only 15 years old, and besides having a patent, he basically competes in all kinds of different competitions. Like this picture that Megan's looking for, he won the Prudential Spirit of Community Award. But what we do with him is we actually look for different competitions for him to enter into. All of you students can do that. Everybody has a certain area or discipline that they're really good at and passionate about. There are countrywide competitions, there are worldwide competitions. This particular student was in Taiwan, and he won a medal, and he was able to meet with the Minister of Education of Taipei and received a congratulations for doing that. I have another student that, besides being on a gazillion honor rolls, she is on a Nickelodeon television program. And really, every single one of you will have some area that, you are good at, and your coach can kind of help you flesh that out, whether it's entering competitions or, starting clubs at school. I have a couple of students that started clubs right within their high school, and all of these things go on your academic resume. So, you don't have to have Einstein's IQ to, you know, be exceptional like Jonathan. Sorry, we don't have the picture up for you, but
found it, so I'm going to try to put it into a slide really quick so we can check.
Okay, awesome. So you can see him. You know, when I met him, and he told me he had a patent, because when I'm not teaching or doing Heartland, I'm a patent attorney. So I draft and file patents all the time. So when this guy told me he had a patent at age 15, I mean, it was just amazingly cool. But you know, all of you can excel. There he is. That's Jonathan, with his medal, and you know, meeting the Minister of Education for all of Taipei. You know, this guy is really exceptional, and the only reason he's exceptional is because he really applies himself. He uses the Heartland program, you know, all of the tools that we have to offer. He takes advantage of everything. He has me actually look for other competitions he can enter. And so I wanted to lead into something. You know, we have students, if you're looking at a subject like law, okay, a lot of students first think about how you see lawyers on TV, right? They're arguing in front of a judge and being all dramatic. And a lot of students say, well, I am not good at public speaking. But consider that law does not mean that you have to litigate. You can be a lawyer and never go into a courtroom. So there's a bazillion areas of law: family law, business law, contract law. You never have to be a litigator. A law degree also bodes well for any companies. You can get a job in a company's legal department. Like me and Jonathan here, you could do patent law. I never litigate, so, you know, and have no interest in it. But there are so many different things that a law degree can do for you, and that's something your coach can help you flesh out. Like, you know, okay, what could I do with this? Engineering is another area. There are so many different areas of engineering. And you can start out with a general engineering degree. Your first year, you're probably going to be taking all the same classes, you know, as for any engineering specialty. So I think, you know, I want students to have this sort of broad umbrella thinking, and not, you know, like with the law example, not automatically think, oh, I'm, you know, it freaks me out to speak in front of people. Again, a degree like that, or like engineering, there's so many different flavors of that, you know, I would like to see all students ask their coach, you know, what can I do with this kind of a degree? You know, so Jonathan's an exceptional student, but every single student can be exceptional. You know, if you work with your coach and work the program, we'll help you find, you know, what your strong suits are and what to do with those, and maybe, you know, what kind of degree to pursue. So I just want to end with saying, you know, you all can be exceptional. So, you know, don't look at Jonathan or some of these other students' accomplishments and think, oh gosh, I could never do that. You know, with the right guidance and mentoring, I think you absolutely can.
That's awesome. Congratulations to all of the students that we've highlighted. Thank you, Coach Diane, for sharing the stories on behalf of your students, as well as really your words of wisdom around putting in the hard work and not, you know, one of my favorite quotes is, comparison is the thief of joy. And the way that I really think about that with our students is that not every student is interested, right? And let's take this example, you know, is not interested in getting a patent or isn't going down that road, but they may be interested in creative writing, or they may be interested in opening a childcare center, or you name it, right, folks? And so whatever your area that you want to succeed in, figuring out the right way and asking those questions and being an advocate and working hard, success will come to you. It's going to look differently for all of our students. And again, we hope that we're highlighting some of the various, successes that our students are getting, whether really, this is such an amazing accomplishment for Jonathan, our students who are getting into college and university. For some of our students, getting into college and university is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. And for some of our other students, I was on the phone with one of my students today, who's a junior getting ready to go into his senior year and has just won a $100,000 scholarship for a technical university, an engineering-based university out east. And it was like, that wasn't even on my radar before, but I'm now really considering this school. So putting your mind to it, putting the hard work, working alongside your coach to find those opportunities and to ask those questions really will lead to those successes as well. I kind of just popped that picture in when I could. And so some of the additional successes that we have seen over this past year, and again, there's only so many spaces, but we had a junior student who was accepted into the Cosmos summer program at UC Davis. This is a STEM program, specifically for science and mathematics. Obviously, that's what STEM means, but it's a pretty selective program, and so the student is very, very excited about this because he's really looking at going into that career field. And so this is a very, very specific, targeted, focused summer program that will really help him out. We had a senior student that was offered a full ride at Florida Atlantic University for the first 3 years of a 7-year BSMD program. And what that is a bachelor's degree and a medical degree all into one. So this student has been accepted into that as long as they continue to meet the criteria along the way, but have already been accepted then into medical school. They're going to be able to get in-state tuition for 4 years of medical school with a total value of over $200,000 in scholarship at a very well-respected university. So that is pretty amazing to look at that. We have a gap year student. So a gap year, for those of you who are not familiar, is a student who took a year off in between graduating high school and starting college. Had actually been accepted into college out of state and was getting ready to go, and just really put the brakes on, decided, you know what, I'm not sure that this is the right move for me right now. I think I'd like to get a little bit more experience, want to take a little bit more time to figure out what I want to do so that when I start college, I'm really focused when I get there. And so what this student did is really took time off, was very intentional about getting those experiences in the pharmaceutical field, got a job working as an intern, working her way up at a specific pharmacy, in her hometown. Really spent some time looking at what type of program she was interested in, where the schools were located, and was just accepted into the University of Houston, and it says to student pharmacy. It meant to study pharmacy. She will be a pharmacy student. And so sometimes my spell check doesn't work because that was spelled correctly. It's just in the wrong spot. But that student is really, now she's really focused on making that career piece happen. So she was really, really pleased. We worked pretty diligently to make sure that she was utilizing all of the tools and working towards that. So again, these are some of our additional successes outside of only, our graduating students and only being accepted. And we had, I think I've seen an email, I should pull it up, but we just had a couple of emails come in about a student. I actually do want to pull this one particularly up on my own email here. Coach Diane, it's the email from Coach Amy that we got today. I think I found it. I wasn't able to put this into the slideshow, but wanted to share. We have a student who just finished his sophomore year in high school, and he got accepted into the Center for Disease Control summer program, focusing on disease and public health. The student is extremely excited and should be very proud of himself, and really credits a lot of the success that he has had with his materials for the application to the essay readers that are working with our program. So again, all along the way, our students are experiencing successes in various different areas. And again, the list goes on and on. We just get very, very excited. We really truly are grateful to all of our coaches and essay reviewers that work with the Heartland College Coaching Program. This program would not exist without our coaches or the essay reviewers. Our coaches work tirelessly with the students, finding out really who are they? You know, here's a quote from one of our coaches, that we must find out what the students need and do our best to help them meet those needs so they're off to a great start in life. Regardless of when students are starting this program, if they're starting in the 8th grade, if they're starting mid-senior year, those coaches are going to do everything they can to get the information about those students. Tell them, hey, this is really what I think you need to do. Let's start working this plan. And students who choose to really work with their coaches turn in their materials to be reviewed by their coaches as well as their essay reviewers. They really do get that great start for the next chapter of their life. So we really and truly are grateful to all of our coaches and essay reviewers.
Hey, Megan, Diane, again, just to touch on what you just said, my student, Jonathan, we didn't see the text, but he thanked me for the resources and for helping him review his essay for that contest. So he was saying, you know, he probably couldn't have done it without the great essay reviewing. And I think a lot of our students who are really good in science and math and things like that, they're not overly confident in their writing skills.
Sure.
So, you know, getting those essays reviewed and getting help on those, I think it is really, really a big deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At any point in the game, right? If you're applying to these summer programs, or it's for colleges or for scholarships, please utilize your coach or the essay reviewers via your coach. Our essay reviewers are very, very talented. They're able to turn those around probably quicker than they should, which means that they are working a lot of hours, especially at different times of the year, but really providing some very solid, understandable, applicable feedback. So students are turning in the best possible materials that they have. And so we as coaches are so very grateful to our essay reviewers for providing that information for, you know, or that feedback for our students. And obviously it is paying off for our students who are utilizing that service. And again, since it's the end of the year and it's really our opportunity to say thank you, we want to say thank you to all of our currently enrolled students and families. Our program wouldn't exist without you, obviously. We could coach one another, but it's not quite as much fun as working with students and families. I am always so very impressed by not only the questions and concerns that the students and families on my caseload have, but the emails that go back and forth between our coaching team on either the successes, some of the ways that students and families have navigated challenges that are in front of them, questions that have come up that really help us as coaches either think through what our resources are, think through how can we apply, you know, some of the successes that students and families have had in one area with one coach. How can we take that information and apply it? And so we are so very grateful to our students and our families. For those of you who are interested in thinking about or are currently thinking about enrolling in the program, we would love to have a conversation with you on how to become one of our enrolled student and family members, so you can start working with our coaches, our essay reviewers, and our entire college coaching staff. But we are indebted to all of you. We certainly, I know myself as a coach, as a current and former educator, I just love working with this age of students and really helping them really figure out what really matters to them when it comes to careers and academics and a fit for college. It's really just so very rewarding, and so we are so grateful to all of you for being a part of this important work that we are able to do.
I echo that, Megan. You know, we consider everybody kind of family at Heartland. So, you know, and don't just assume that, oh gosh, you know, I could never get into this school or that school. Never assume that. I've had a lot of students, you know, very surprised. In fact, I did recently get a full ride student at GTU. So, you know, think I can and ask your coach for help. Never think, oh gosh, you know, I won't be good enough to get in X. You know, I think everybody has a very good shot. And the summer programs that Megan was talking about, I have a couple students that do the Yale Summer Scholars Program, Cornell. Ask your coach about that. These are summer programs. You know, there is a fee, of course. Sometimes we can get you financial aid for that. But you don't need the 4.5 GPA and all this to do some of those summer scholars programs. And then that looks really, really good on your academic resume. So, you know, never hesitate to ask. Like Megan said, coaches, good questions or any questions is extremely important, and we're always here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, we're coming to the end of this part of the program. Congratulations, everyone, on a successful year, whether you're completing 8th grade, you're getting ready to go to college, or you're somewhere in the middle or beyond. If you're a coach, if you're a parent, if you're an essay reviewer, whoever you are, it really and truly has been a successful year for everyone. So congratulations on all of the successes that we were able to showcase tonight. Those that we were unable to showcase only for time, you know, give our coaches an opportunity to talk about all of their different students. And you will be here for a long time, which is fun for all of us. But really, again, congratulations on a successful year. Best of luck to those of you who are moving on to the next chapter of your life, however you define that, if that's from high school to college, from junior high to high school, or beyond, or if you're a parent who is walking alongside your student who is moving on to that next chapter in life. We wish you the absolute best of luck. And from all of us at the Heartland College Coaching Program, best of luck, and please enjoy your summer. Yes, go out there, do the internships, get that additional funding pieces and work on your applications and study for those tests and take a break. Everybody deserves a break, however that looks, because you want to be able to be refreshed when that fall comes around. And summer is not quite as long as I remember it being when I was a kid. So make sure that you are taking some time to enjoy and rest this summer as well.
Well said, Megan, well said. I mean, that is actually hugely important. So definitely give yourself a little bit of a break.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we're going to jump into the questions and answer portion, just for the next 10 or so minutes, we have another Parents' Night coming up at 7 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. So we want to be prepared for that as well. But if after this webinar there are some questions or concerns that we were unable to answer for whatever reason, you can contact us. You can send us an email at hyfecpp@hyfe-usa.org. You can give us a call at 303-597-0197, or I encourage you to visit us online and see if some of that information is on there. It's www.hyfe-usa.org. So,
and I didn't get any questions in the chat, so I think we're clear there. I think, you know, right now we have a lot of students that are in the middle of finals.
yes.
You know, not everybody has finished.
Right.
Totally understand that as well. So, you know, again, if you have questions down the road, email your coach or the contact info that Megan gave you. And we definitely understand that this is finals time. So no worries.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. If anybody does have any questions or concerns, anything that you would like to share, give you a couple seconds to kind of think through. Everybody is muted as well, so you don't make my mistake and start talking because no one can hear you if you are muted. One thing I do want to put out there, and I know we have a few folks that are on here, and some people have seen a lot of emails from their coach, but students who are currently enrolled, just as a reminder, starting in June, so the first Wednesday in June, June 5th, we are going to start doing grade-specific webinars. So the first Wednesday of the month is going to be for our freshman students. Second Wednesday of the month is going to be for sophomores. Third Wednesday of the month is juniors, and fourth Wednesday of the month is seniors. And that's going to be hosted by our Dean of Education, Constance Seiden. Some of our coaches, I am positive, will be joining for some of those. There's an opportunity for folks to get on an hour before that and ask some specific questions, engage in conversations specific to that particular grade on behalf of their students. And then the webinar specifically for students will start, all of those will be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So you all can do the mental gymnastics for which time zone you live in. But again, you're going to be getting that information. I'm sure you already have from your coach, and you'll be getting some reminders. So that's something definitely that you all have to look forward to. So. Well, one of my favorite gifts that I like to give people is time back in your day. So I will not fill the time and talk for the next 10 minutes. Like Coach Diane referred to, we understand that this is either just the end of the year and people are just done and want to go and watch something on Netflix, which is what my kids are doing right now, or you're in the midst of finals or getting prepared for what you're going to be doing this summer. So we wish you the absolute very best of luck in all that. Coach Diane, thank you so much for joining me this evening on this and sharing the story of your students, specifically Jonathan. I'm going to keep that slide in there for the next presentation and try to tell his story a little bit as well there. So thank you so very much for joining.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you. And thank you, everybody.
All right, everybody have a wonderful night. If you'd like to join us again, we are going to be doing this again. I will be joined by a different coach who will be coming on, but we will be doing this again in about another 10 minutes. So tell your friends, and we will see you back here, or we will see you at the end of June. Everyone have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.